So another topic I wanted to talk about today is in the last video I talked about more on kind of time and overthinking, and that last video was a little scuffed because I kept the video kept cutting or I kept pausing it. I'm not sure, and it was very windy. But when I went out in the field, and I'm nice little secluded forest area, and yeah, what I wanted to talk about today is change. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit. Change, personal change, or change of other people around you, And what I mean by that is sometimes in life we run into things around, like people around us, like friends or close ones, or if it's family members, or if it's like people at your work, or doesn't matter, things like that. I think you get the point. What I'm trying to make is for anybody around you, or including yourself, but I'll elaborate on the personal change in a little bit. What I want to really kind of touch up upon is that you cannot change people. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of times, if it's your friend, again, I'm talking about all these people, as someone who is, troubled or is having issues with, again, anxiety, stress, or they're just plain, I would say, an asshole, or things like that, and, sometimes people find themselves in, toxic relationships, either if it's a friendship or if it's an actual relationship, or, people get as far as, like, marriage and all that, but that's a whole different topic on its own. We, as humans, as, always try to, help or think, oh, we can change this, I can change this person, and I had personal experiences where I had friendships that ended, but before all of that, it was like, oh, you think that, oh, I'm a good person and I can help, I can change this person because, they're troubled, or, things like that. And no matter the amount of effort you put in, a person who cannot change, a person who doesn't want to change, you cannot change them. You cannot change for them. They need to be ready to change, and that comes a lot about, about their ego. It tells a lot about their ego, or their an ability not to overstep that barrier, to realize that they have a problem, and then maybe, they can't keep a friendship, or they can't keep a job, or they can't keep any sort of long-term, thing, because the issue is not everyone around them. The main issue is them. And for a lot of people, it is a very, very, very hard thing to realize, or to admit to themselves. So they just keep lying to themselves, and and there's a cheesy saying that I always say, that I believe in, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. And that is true, and again, I found myself from a personal experience speaking, like, had a friend that I try to put an effort in, that I thought I could change, that I could, but in the end, I just ended up getting hurt because certain events happen, and the way things happen, and I was, like, left to look like I was the bad guy. In reality, I was just, like, wanting that person to change. But it's like, no, you can't change somebody who doesn't want to change. It doesn't matter. You can tell them step by step. You can guide them. You can tell them all these little advices. But if they don't want to hear it, it will come in through one ear and out the other. And all those people want to do, especially if you're around them, is they want to hear what they want to hear. So they want you to justify their behavior or their actions, like that they're doing right. They want you to kind of reaffirm them that nothing is wrong and it's all just, oh, if a certain situation or they got fired from a job, it's because of the reason that everyone around them was bad, like, and they weren't the problem. And I found myself in a situation where I would tell that person advice and tell them, well, maybe the main issue is not all of that. Maybe you should look within yourself to change something. And that just led to a bunch of drama and, like, again, fell out of a friendship. But that was like a very, very big thing that happened that made me realize you cannot change people if they don't want to change. And then comes the part of changing in yourself. And it's very similar, same thing. Like, you can say things, you can make all these goals, all these New Year resolutions that people do, but like, if you're really not ready to do all these things, you're not going to do it. And my advice to that is that don't bother wasting time on things if you're not committing to them. People are like, oh, I'll sign up to the gym to lose weight, and they half-ass it, and it never goes. It doesn't matter. That literally is a waste of fucking time then. Is a waste of energy. You can literally put all that effort into something else. Do it properly. And I was personally guilty of doing that. I remember, like, I always wanted to go to the gym, and my friend always were, like, telling me, like, let's go. And I'm half still guilty about it because a few years ago, I got into fitness a little bit more serious. And the reason I didn't get into it earlier is because I knew I'll half-ass it. So I didn't do it. And I'm that kind of person that doesn't like to half-ass things because, you put in the effort and it doesn't go anywhere, and I just feel shitty. So when I did it serious, and I did it for a long time, and then certain things happened in my life and I fell off, and I didn't do it again for the same reason, because I didn't want to half-ass it. Now I'm trying to get back into it, and I am still doing it, but I'm not doing it as well as I should. And again, not going to the gym with my friend, he keeps telling me things like that. Again, like I said, personally half guilty for things like that. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is that also when you're trying to change, if you're not ready for it, don't bother. But the same thing, the most important thing is also don't lie to yourself and, think that you're going to do something and then you're not going to do it. Because and then the thing is, it's also very, very important. I think I also mentioned it in my previous video, is overcoming that self-barrier, that bubble that you build up, because it is very hard. It is very hard to do, but once you do it, it's easier to do the next thing, and then to do the next thing, because then you're like, your brain realizes, oh, it's not so bad anymore, and then I can do the next thing, and then, like, the anxiety builds up, the stress. It's always important to work on yourself. And I know, like, some people might be cheesy, you keep working. You do. And it doesn't have to be like you become some sort of mastermind, like everything. No, it's just for personal reasons, new things, to change up things in your life is always good, because, and what I mean by that is, like, to constantly be stuck on a loop, on a cycle, is very bad. Bad for your mental health, bad for everything you do. Simply because you get caught up in that cycle of doing the same thing, that comfortable, you go to your job, you come home, you do a little routine, you go to bed, you meet up with a friend if you do, or, if you have a significant other, same thing. And every week repeats, every week repeats, the same cycle fucking repeats, and you never get anywhere. And again, when I say this, I'm also guilty of all those things, but I always try to break the cycle and try something new. Try to socialize with strangers, little by little. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what kind of change, as long as you did some sort of change, it's a nice move forward. Like, it can be as simple as, like, rearranging the furniture in your room. You know what I mean? Like, you had your bed and your dresser and your poster, or I don't know, whatever, the room decorations you have, they're a certain way for years, and then, you know, you just change it up. Put the bed this way, do this, do that. You come in home, things are new. When you do that, you have the motivation or the ability to do something else. So, you know, or maybe this year I'll do something like, you know, go to this place or go to this park, or try to talk to different people. When you do that, you know, certain other paths open up, and then before you know it, you have all these different things you want to do, and then you do them, and life feels fresh again, you know. And it's strange the way it works, and you know, when you hear it on paper like that, and it might not sound like, oh, I don't know, and then again your brain starts thinking like, oh, what if this happens, what if I don't like it? Fuck it, you don't like it, try something else. You'll be amazed how little things impact other things. Like, you know, you know, I had again, a situation where it was like a boring day, and I was like, I don't feel like going out, I just feel like sitting at home. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to waste the day off. Went for a walk, you know, met a stranger, a cool person that you know, that also likes photography, and we, like, you know, talked for like 40 minutes about like random stuff, and that was like a nice little, you know, interaction. And you know, if I didn't leave, I wouldn't have met that person. I wouldn't have had the exchange, and I wouldn't have also had the ideas that I have, you know, now, or I had, you know, previously that I did, about, like, you know, wanting to get a camera or take pictures a certain way, and that helped me be what I am today. Like, you know, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that don't be afraid to try different things, and if it's even littlest things, trust me, it all adds up. It adds up to something, and you wouldn't be the person you are today, and you're not going to be the person that you are right now that you're going to be later, in terms of if that makes sense. You know, again, things happen for a reason, and sometimes we need to take action, but sometimes things just happen for themselves. And again, when those two forces, they work together, they come up with like crazy things. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like, I don't know about everyone else, but for me, it's like sometimes it's like I feel like the day is gonna be a good day, that I should go out and I should do this. I should go to a park, or I should go for a bike ride, and then like things happen, and then I'm like, I kind of felt that something was gonna happen, but I didn't realize it was gonna happen this way. That's the type of deal. And then it was like ends up being a nice day, you know. The energy, like, I don't know how to explain. Like, it's very hard to explain, because it's something you have to experience for yourself. And if you're already doing that, that's great. But if you're somebody who struggles with things like that, you'd be amazed the feeling you get. Yeah. Have a blissful day, and maybe try a few things I talked about in these videos. Peace.